She's just gonna, really ignore the podcast audience.
Apparently. I'm sorry. I love you guys. You guys are the backbone of this podcast. All of you, especially recently, it's apparently been Ireland and the Netherlands. Thank you, guys.
Cool.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Risa.
I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
If you're not a fan of those things, that's cool, but you may want to abandon all hope, ye who enter here. You can head over onto, I'm sure there are other podcasts for Nancy Drew that are clean, such as one we plugged recently, which is
Amateur Sleuth Pod.
Sleuth Pod.
Also, if you guys look, there are a bunch of new Nancy Drew, not new, but new to me, Nancy Drew podcasts on Instagram. If you just look up Nancy Drew podcast on Instagram, there's 5 of them now. So,
very nice.
I don't know which one of them are actually family friendly or not, or if any of them are other than Amateur Sleuth Pod, but if they are, they exist. Tell us about them.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. On our Apple.
Wait.
And that's the episode.
And
Peace.
That's it.
Okay, so what are we talking about today, sister?
Well, today is a very special day because for once, every so often, we actually get to talk about a new Nancy Drew game, and this is one of those times.
It is.
Because tonight we're talking about Mystery of the Seven Keys.
We are. So we recently played Mystery of the Seven Keys on stream. It took us 16 hours in total. Which, honestly, it would not have taken that long if we weren't streaming.
Yeah.
There was a lot of streamer syndrome going on, I would say. And also, I'm not going to lie, chat led us astray. There were several times when we were like, man, I don't know what to do next. And then people in chat would be like, go do this. And so we'd go do that. And then we'd go, wait, we already did this. And they went, oh yeah, sorry.
God damn it. You're wasting our time.
So there's that. However, it was still honestly a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And all of the VODs are up on our YouTube. If you guys want to go watch those before listening to this, I guess you can.
Yeah, you can do that.
We've got a playlist.
I definitely recommend, for some of them, you can just I'd really like to put together a best of.
I have
literally. So you can see.
I have downloaded all of the videos, all of the VODs.
Yeah.
And I have my copy of Sony Vegas, and I'm already thinking of doing that after the Speedathon. Because if people don't know that we're a week out from the 5th Speedathon. So, hey, go see. It's 3 days this year, May 31st through June 2nd. We're raising money for Palestine Children's Relief Fund.
Yay!
So go to that, please.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. We are having this is going to be the biggest one yet. We had so many new people apply to run, to the point where this is the first time we've ever had to cut people. And not have every single person who submitted an application actually be able to run. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have some races. We have some really fun secret incentives. And I'll leave it at that. One thing that is made by me is going to be a giveaway item, perhaps. We'll find out. So, Mystery of the Seven Keys. What did we like about it?
Well, first of all, I liked that it was a game. And
yeah.
I say that because I don't really count Midnight in Salem as a game. So it was like, okay, cool. Nancy Drew put out a new game. Yeah, no, I liked a lot of it. I liked that they really went for atmosphere.
Oh yeah.
It was a very nice game. The story was a little muddled, but overall the game experience was really nice.
I thought it was really pretty. We
pretty.
played it on the highest graphic settings because Ariana's computer can handle that. I know a lot of other people were saying that their computers really couldn't handle it, but it was just really nice.
I literally only have a couple of games on here at a time. That's what this computer's for, so.
Yeah. I liked the soundtrack. Honestly,
oh yeah, that was really nice.
I liked it a lot better than Midnight in Salem's soundtrack. That one was not my favorite.
No.
At all. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to the composer, because I honestly feel like Midnight in Salem got made in 6 months. Like, I honestly think they made it in 6 months. I don't think everyone
was working at full, like, they weren't able to do 100% because they didn't have enough, you know. It's like, okay, fill up your water bottle, but you can only do it in 5 seconds. And it's like, okay, but I couldn't do that much. I only got halfway full of my water. Like, well, that's what you're putting in.
Yeah. So that was Midnight in Salem. I also really liked the mystery, like, kind of. I liked the mystery vibes.
Yes.
I liked the idea of the mystery.
Yes. I liked that they had a lot of puzzles to access the mystery. I like that we got to read a lot of books and just, like, look at a lot of things to again, that seems weird to say, but, like, I appreciate getting to have more interaction with my surroundings and with just the story in general.
Yeah. It was nice. I like that. We got to pet a kitty.
It was fantastic.
And it purred. And the cat purrs.
The cat purrs when you click it. It's so good. And it does, like, a little head buddy thing, like it's being pet by you.
That was the best part. Hands down. And
best
we got
cat in all of Nancy Drew, honestly.
It's true.
I love you, Yuri, but...
I love you, Yuri. You're so funny looking. But definitely this kitty.
Mariah-ish.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Very good kitty.
Very good kitty. I still think that they wasted the potential of just having the cat be there and have there be an achievement. From what I can tell, there's no achievement for it.
Okay.
And it's not actually a thing to find. It just feels like it should have been.
So here's the thing.
Yeah. You can, the cat shows up in a couple places. And once you find the cat and you leave and you come back, the cat's not there anymore and it went to a new place. And that happened, like, twice. Like, we found the cat and then left and the cat wasn't there. And then we found it 2 more places. And so we were like, oh, is the cat just going to keep showing up? That would be awesome. And then it didn't.
That would have been so good. The only way to make Mariah better.
Yes. So what didn't we like about the game?
Okay.
I'm not sure. If you find the cat 10 times, you get an Easter egg?
I couldn't find the cat 10 times. How the fuck do you find the cat 10 times? I looked.
Okay.
You guys fucking know I looked.
We did look. Okay.
Guess who's gonna be fucking playing this game again?
Yes.
Plus,
it's
I also
cat
want to get. I need to find. That's delightful. I need to find the cat. I need to find all of the
playing cards.
Playing cards.
Because we got 6 out of 10.
Because, okay, sorry, honestly, going back to things that we liked, I liked that there was a little collectibles mechanic, basically.
Yeah, and the pictures, the photography.
There were the pictures that we could take. You can take pictures of, which, by the way, hint to anyone who hasn't played the game or who is playing the game but is struggling, use the camera. It helps you to look at things better.
Yes.
It's honestly gorgeous. that camera has gorgeous quality. So it really
honestly
helps.
it's great.
I love so good.
And also there's a collectible of taking pictures of places, and of course we spent too long getting all 10 pictures. Honestly, It didn't take us that much. Everyone was like, oh wow, you got that a lot quicker than I did. So honestly.
Okay. Yeah, I only struggled to find West House, really.
Yeah. That was
I
the
kept
only one we
expecting to
struggled.
have another area to go to.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm not immediately seeing it. So I must be, there must be something that I need to unlock first.
Yeah.
But so there's that. You can take pictures, and it reveals little bits of the history of those buildings, which are real buildings, real landmarks.
Yeah.
You can find all these playing cards. You can pet the cat. There's something else I'm missing. I swear. I don't know. But, you can, I guess, there's also, making a bunch of the coffees. That's fun. So, but it's fun because those are things that you can do, but you don't have to do in order to complete the game. You know what I mean?
I can't believe I tried to move on from what we liked about it without talking about the fact that it was in a historical place.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually really accurate. And I really enjoyed the actual environment in that way of it being like, yeah, here we are at Prague Castle. Here we are at, like, the Old Town Square and stuff. And all of these things are, like, actually accurate to real life. And it had a lot of really good historical content. Like, we learned about a lot of stuff. Yeah. I'm always happy to have an astronomical clock.
That was fascinating, honestly, and it was difficult to get through just in terms of doing it on stream, but it was really fucking cool the way it all breaks down and the way you can and I love it. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. Also, a new kind of clock for me is always a win.
We hit a lot of really fun topics in the game, and there was a lot of, like, I kept being like, oh wow, actual edutainment for once. Like, back to the old days where we were learning things. There were a lot of things that I don't know. There were a lot of really good things.
Honestly, there's a lot of really interesting stuff that I didn't, because, okay, as I may have said a few times, I studied history, and that's one of my things. That's why I love history. I've never really been very into European or Eastern European history. Any history in that area, honestly, is kind of just not what I've covered. So I've never really delved into it. So I learned a lot, like getting these new bits of information about the kings, about how they are a democratically elected monarchy, and
that was That was like the Roman Empire and stuff like that.
And very cool. But what I'm saying is I didn't know this about them.
Yeah.
It's not about me not knowing that as a concept, because obviously the lords get to pick yada yada yada. It's
but
thing.
Whatever.
But yeah.
I agree. Fun. I don't know much about... I don't know much European history, to be real with you. Sorry, Europe. All of my history was in, like, South America, North America. That's the area of history I was very interested in.
South and Central American. I liked Cradle of Civilization stuff.
Yes.
I
just didn't care much about the Roman Empire. I'm sorry. It's never been something I've cared about. I've learned a lot about the Roman Empire through watching Time Team. That's also how I know so much more about English, like just British history now, because Time Team is amazing and I love it. If you don't know what Time Team is, it was a show I think it was Channel 4. I don't know.
Probably.
It's an English show, British show, and it was like they would get 3 days to do an archaeological dig and figure. It was really, really fun. It went off the air, and now they're doing it again, funded through Patreon. And we've been enjoying it quite a bit, because instead of it being one episode of 3 days, it's 3 episodes, 1 day each. So one episode per day of the dig. Really cool. But yes, so history. That's where I was.
Yes.
So what did we not like so much? I'm going to say the mystery didn't make that much sense.
It had elements which could have made sense, but I think that they... I'm not... I don't know how to put it. I feel like they were afraid to commit to a story.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like they were... We have a story. It fundamentally makes sense, but we don't get a lot of good motive of how things came together. You know how Nancy likes to do her little wrap up in the end, and
her little
and usually we find out, oh yeah, Big Island Mike worked at a pineapple farm when he was in
Yeah.
that's how we knew. So it's like I would have liked to have known how and why this like came together,
Yeah.
like what clandestine meetings were being held, to plan all of this,
and I guess
why
we
it had
did
to be
miss
so
part of
convoluted.
it. I guess there was a part that we missed that a bunch of people also missed, and at the time we played it, no one was really sure what the trigger was for it. I don't know if that's the case still. But when we were playing it, everyone was like, you missed this thing at the end, but so did most other people.
Was it with the necklace?
It was with the necklace. Apparently there was
I couldn't get anything to happen.
No, I know. So apparently there's like a trigger that at the time people didn't know. I don't know if that's still the case. I don't want to spoil myself on it. But maybe that added extra context. I don't know. I think it solves the like vague mystery of who was the original owner of the necklace.
Oh, who cares about that part though?
Yeah. So I think that's that.
Not even. I just would have liked a little more substance for like how, why, the basic things of a mystery. I
don't quite understand it.
I get it more or less. Like, are we gonna just say?
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk. There's spoilers. So, we're talking spoilers.
Sorry. In case you guys didn't realize, spoilers ahead. This is your chance to bail ship. So it makes sense for Elka to have done this.
Yes.
I understand. We immediately called, oh yeah, so she found out about her mom, and so rather than, trying to figure it out, she joined the opposition. Basically.
Well, it's more like she blamed.
Really.
Yeah, she created the opposition because she blamed them for her mother's death instead of it. Which instead of the people makes sense.
And I get it, totally get it, but it's also like we don't get enough of a reason. Why she decided to go against like her grandfather. It's not like basically we get the feeling that she died working for Residente, but it's not like Residente killed her. You know?
Also, something that I didn't really like about the culprit is that I called who the culprits were because of the fucking character art.
Because one looked like a direct copy of a picture of Natalie Portman, and one looked pretty much exactly like Florence Pugh.
And so we were like, oh, those are the bad guys.
You're like, oh.
Like, and other than our original, like, theory that I think, again, is something that I didn't like because they wasted such a big opportunity.
For real, honestly, and we'll talk about it when we get into the tinfoil theories part, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay, we'll hold on to that. But yeah, there's some missed opportunities. But other than the mystery, that's really the main issue.
Yeah.
Just to be a little bit picky, a lot of the animation was subpar. Like there were just weird gestures that characters would do, or they do them too late. Like in that one scene where we confront Merrick and
Radek?
the baby boy. Yes, Radek.
Yeah, Radek.
Like I called it at the stream. It's like Radek does this gesture after he's spoken, and it's like, was... I feel like that's supposed to be when he was speaking.
Yeah.
And there was another point where that same thing happened with, like, Elka says something urgent at Merrick, and then while Merrick's talking, her arm does a gesture, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Just little janky things, just tiny.
And also, the other thing that we were nitpicking about while we were playing was the sound design.
Yes.
We really liked the soundtrack, but the sound design was, like, the crowd noises and stuff were just really, really quiet, and you had to be on top of people to actually hear it, and you had to have the sound all the way up to be able to hear it. Otherwise, it just felt like, despite the fact that there were crowds, they were silent crowds, and it was also the same 5 models over and over again, sometimes with them being right next to each other. Like, there was one point where I was looking at the VOD, and I didn't even notice this while we were playing, but the Frank Hardy lookalike was literally sat at 2 tables next to each other in the same outfit.
Yeah.
Which, again, we understand reusing of assets. 100%
Absolutely.
Get that.
And there was no T-posing.
Nope.
So, nobody, like, there was nothing broken.
No,
there was
not
nothing,
really.
like, basically it was just, a glitch in the Matrix. You know what I mean?
Sometimes there were things broken, and that was mainly that and this is another thing that really, honestly, was the main downside to this game was, the flags were really specific to be able to, like... So, to be able to solve a puzzle, you had to have... Or to check things off. To check things off on your task list, you had to actually hit very specific flags for it to trigger the next bit. Things like where... Even though we went and talked to people and it said talk to them, we couldn't check it off until we called another thing. And then we could check it off. Because it was just like, it assumed that you would have already done that before going and talking to them. And there was another puzzle that was in the museum that Ariana solved. She solved it. I looked through the VOD. I watched her while she was doing it. She did the correct thing. And it would not click. And she had to go find a piece of information before she could then go back and solve it. And then it worked. I watched the VOD back. I was there while she was playing it. No, that wasn't you. That was literally, you had to go look at that piece of information before you could solve it. Okay. Apparently. At least in her game. Like, that's the thing. Another thing that we liked about it, though, the modern controls, right? You liked being able to use WASD, right?
Yeah, it was good. It was...
we could run.
We could sprint. That was fantastic. What a speedy way to play Nancy Drew, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Never has Nancy been as swift as she is.
I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask the speedrunners if that helps with the speedrunning of the game.
I would assume it would, for sure. And there was none of that janky slingshot that there was in Midnight in Salem.
Maybe there was if you played the classic, but
true.
We didn't.
We did not.
We didn't play the point and click. We just went straight for the modern controls.
Yep.
Which apparently was the right choice. Good. Because it meant that our pictures and stuff were easier to obtain.
I'd imagine so, yeah. That makes sense.
But it did mean that we had a little bit of a harder time understanding what were pieces of interest, because when you can just move freely around, you aren't. It's like your experience isn't as curated by the game as a point and click. Mm-hmm. So, like, you can go to a specific point and know, oh, if I'm at this point, there's something I'm going to be able to see, as opposed to us just going around the cafe over and over again trying to find something. Yeah. Some of the puzzles were just obtuse.
Some of them were just obtuse. Honestly, even the ones that were pains in the ass, I kind of had... There was a sense of
achievement.
Achievement. Of
accomplishment.
Like, okay, yes, it frustrated me, and I felt like screaming. But you know what? Now I have done it.
We only used the strategy guide once the entire time, and it was for the puzzle that was bugged. So I'm glad we used it, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to do that.
Which puzzle was it for? I'm sorry.
It was just to get the top of the thing with the ellipsis and the circle.
Okay.
That was the only thing we had to use it for. That, and apparently Sondheim was speaking through me.
Sondheim was speaking to you? I don't remember this.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm just going to leave it at that. For a couple of the puzzles where I just came out with random, like, suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
We decided it was that Sondheim was speaking through me.
Right.
Because I accidentally attributed something of his to Andrew Lloyd Webber, so I was... Yeah, so like, you just have to go back and watch the VODs if you want any kind of context for that, because I'm not explaining it.
No. Yeah, there were a few times where it was very clear how why it's easier when it's two people, because very specifically there was this one puzzle where it was a logic puzzle, and we were like, the only reason that it worked was because I randomly decided, hey, maybe I should switch this one with this one. And then Risa said, you should switch those two as well. So it was completely contingent on me having a whim and Risa going, do that. It just feels right.
I solve puzzles based on the vibes, apparently.
Yeah, you know.
Over, like, if I'm not the one in control. Apparently, yeah. I just... It's just the vibes. So what was our like favorite characters?
Okay.
The kitty,
obviously. Mariah,
obviously perfect. No notes. But I also really liked Merrick, the old guy, Elka's grandpa. Yeah, I really liked him. I'm just a sucker for crotchety old guys who are actually, like, then acting very grandfatherly towards us. It's just one of my favorite tropes. Thank you, Dexter Egan. Thank you, Alexi. Thank you, Gunnar. Like, all of these characters, I love them.
They are good. Yeah.
I'm still not over Joseph Hughes.
Yeah.
Like, you know...
I feel like that's what every old man has been for us since then. It's like, oh, we may have messed some kids up by making Joseph the bad guy, essentially. But also having it be because he has...
Dementia
and just...
No family left and... Yeah, no, that was fucked up. But Merrick, really liked him. I really liked Merrick.
Yes. Basically, so, honestly, weirdly, my two favorite characters were the two guys, which are Merrick and Radek.
You're not considering Oscar as a guy? Or Zaid?
Oh my god, I totally forgot about Oscar. And Zaid, I forgot that he even showed up at the end. Zaid? Is that right?
Yes, Zane.
Zane, thank you. I was like, that's not
might
a
be
name.
Zane.
Zane. It's Zane.
I still feel like it might be Zaid.
No,
it's Zane. You're right.
My brain wanted to go Zane Donovan, but that's Eureka. But it was something like that. Anyway, But no, honestly, I know I do not count Oscar as a guy simply because I guess.
Did he actually have anything to do with the plot?
No,
he was unnecessary. He was a completely unnecessary character.
Unnecessary, except for being a slight distraction to
Vladena.
What's her name? Vladena, when we're breaking into the safe. Although she invited us to do that, so really...
Yeah, it wasn't breaking into the safe. Yeah.
But
it was a challenge.
It was a challenge. She challenged us, and then she came back and went, oh, you actually did it. Okay, cool.
But it was a test, Ariana. She was testing us.
Yeah, sure.
She was. See, she brought us there.
Too. But basically, and I don't want to say it's a problem with, but basically what I would have liked was more characterization, because we got like
Yeah.
basic impressions of these characters, and our impressions were what we went on.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a lot of actual. Again, the game was afraid to commit to certain things, so it left.
Yeah.
It's like they felt like they were leaving things up to interpretation, and it's like, no, in these kinds of things, I want a direct story. I don't want it to be left to my interpretation. Things that are left to your interpretation are like, the mom in Shadow at the Water's Edge killing herself. That can be left up to interpretation.
Yeah.
You know? As opposed to who these people are in general.
Yeah.
I
There's
should
a lot of
leave
stuff
the game
that
feeling
just,
like I've figured them out.
Yeah.
And I still feel weirdly like Patrizia, there's stuff I don't know about her. Like, she's gonna... like, I still feel like she and Adela are gonna pop out of a corner somewhere, and just like get me as a person, not as Nancy Drew. I'm like, I don't know, man. This was weird. So that's just me, though.
But who were our least favorite characters?
Oh God.
Oh wait, you didn't actually talk about Radek.
Okay.
About why you liked him.
I'm probably going to give it largely to the voice actor, but he was
great.
So endearing. He had Tom Holland energy, which made me go, "Oh, I just want to babysit you." I adored him. Honestly, while she was weird, Elka was adorable as well.
I agree.
But not in a way where I felt betrayed, like with Rentaro, you know?
Yeah. Because I feel like I think it was very telegraphed. To me, at least. I mean, you saw, I picked up on a lot of, a lot of that stuff pretty early on. I think it was pretty clear, what they were doing with it. Especially with the, the big pop-up on her computer and then her taking it back and then Elka being there while she's on the call about this. Okay.
That was all I'm going to go back to that point of what don't we like about the game. There are some very, they sort of pretend like they're preaching a lot of cybersecurity. But they practice absolutely none of it, and they don't do anything to discourage this sort of behavior in the players, which I think is a real missed opportunity. Especially since cybersecurity is a growing field. And since they're supposed to be all STEM based. Getting people interested in, these are best practices. This is what you
instead
do.
Instead of, you know, download this encrypted file through a text message. And that was just oof.
And everybody in Prague was on this frickin' puppet VPN thing. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
You're all on a secret public VPN? That's not okay.
No, it's not. Oh well.
If I were them, I'd be like, oh, the government's listening in. Anyway.
Yes. So, least favorite character, Vladena.
Vladena and Oscar.
Oscar was just he was just a nothing.
He was he was a nothing, but an irritating nothing, as opposed to Leo, who was a nothing.
I think we
missed.
Nothing? So I think with Leo, there was more there. I think we accidentally skipped stuff with him because
we could never find him.
I mean, literally though, we were supposed to be able to talk to him more before he disappeared, and then he disappeared for us. I think there was something missing there. I'm hoping there would because otherwise, what is the point? There's no reason for us to be this connected to him with what we saw. You know what I mean?
There's no reason for us to be this connected to him. I don't understand the way he was reacting in the tunnels when we were freeing him.
I don't know.
I still am very suspicious of him. I'm so sorry. I'm going to keep going back to the things I don't like. I also don't like that the game gaslights us. Yeah. And they're like, oh, did you actually see the police go in? It's like, well, no, but the sound that you guys put in place with people saying you're under arrest led us to believe that the police were going in there and getting her. Well, how dare you gaslight us like this? Fuck you. Sorry.
No, I agree. I didn't really like that part either. But I just don't understand Vladena as, like, I don't understand what she was. I don't understand her real motivation.
Because she can have the gems, sister.
But what?
When she has the gems, everyone will need her. I don't know. I don't
understand.
She makes less sense than a.
I mean, like, it was because she was being used. She was being used by Elka. Yeah. Elka was trying to take down Residente. The way she could do it was if she got Nancy there. How could she get Nancy there? Was to play Vladena. Vladena then... Like, that is absolutely insane to me that that's the thing. But we knew, like... The moment I saw all those stickers on her fucking laptop, I was like, she has been studying Nancy.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way she hasn't. And then they talk about how she was on a podcast, and I'm supposed to just accept that as why people know Nancy, because she was on a podcast.
Yeah, so...
Like, bitch, me too, but... Right?
Was that some kind of tie-in? Did they do something?
No, I think it literally was just like a... And honestly, that was kind of fun, that it was a plot point that, like, the reason that people are starting to know Nancy's name is because, like, we're further in the future now. Like, no one's gonna not know who Nancy Drew is at this point in universe.
She's got fans on Instagram that are just, like, tracking her movements. No, but, like... I think that was a real missed opportunity for them and their marketing department, and everybody should really be reconsidering how they do these things, because that would have been a perfect tie-in. What a great teaser for the game would it have been to have an in-universe, like, podcast episode where you're directly asking Nancy questions and interviewing her, and it's kind of like it gives you the sense of a wider universe that Nancy's in. Yes, go ahead, sister. You're itching to say something.
Her interactive, call us.
For real. Like,
I'm just saying, we're literally Krolmeister sisters. In universe, we could actually be PG Krolmeister's, like, great nieces, and we're there just being, like, a sleuthy Like, come on. Call us. We would love to do it.
We know you guys know we exist.
Also, it still reminds me that we still have to do that Defunct Land video about Captain's Cove amusement park. So we have to Defunct Land that in universe. Oh, I'm very excited. I will get to it at some point. What was the best moment / puzzle? I'm just trying to, like, otherwise we are going to take 5 million years on this. We're 40 minutes in.
I feel like I still haven't even processed it all the way.
I know.
Gosh. That's really hard. Honestly, there were a lot of good puzzles in this game.
I agree.
I enjoyed a majority of them.
Despite the fact that it was really, like, involved and kind of difficult to solve, the astronomical clock, I thought, was really, like, once we figured it out, it was really fun.
Yeah, that was good. I liked that. I liked that they gave us... I liked the poems that led to the puzzles. Yeah. I felt like that was really fun. I don't know how to put it, but yeah, it's Anyway. But yeah.
I liked, like, doing the basically scavenger hunt for all of the marks with the R on it.
Yeah, that was fun.
I thought that was really a really fun way to do that and have to go around and see all these different places, which was really nice. I really enjoyed that.
And getting to understand that it was all because it was attributed to King Rudolph II.
Yeah.
Who I now, know more about, or anything about, really.
Yeah. So, so there's that. Otherwise, I'm trying to think about any other bits that were just, like, delightful. The puppet! How could I forget the puppet show? That was the best part of the entire game.
That was delightful.
Oh my god, I loved it so much.
It was so good. I liked the actual, like, puzzle solving of it, and then I also liked that we then get to watch the puppet show.
I know.
It was so cute and well done, and it was fun getting to hear Brittany do some voices. It's like, oh, there you go. That's cute. This is good.
Yeah, I think I feel like the voice acting was better in this game, but I also feel like it was very dependent on the voice actor and how much, like, I feel like Roddick's voice actor was really good, and I think that's mostly just because he has really good, like, intuition for it. Yeah. And I feel like he got really into the character, and it was very endearing, and I really liked that. Absolutely. We hear Brittany Cox doing great voices in parts of this. Mm-hmm. But I still feel like maybe in the next game, she'll be even better. Because I think she's just getting used to the directing, like, in this. Because there were a lot of really weird line reads that, like, I feel like were copy-pasted bits of other, like, things. Can't go that way.
It's like, why does she go so flat in these areas? It's like...
It just doesn't sound like her in other things. Like, I honestly think she's a great voice actress. I do not think she was directed very well. No. In this. And I think she got better in this one versus Midnight in Salem.
For sure.
I think maybe she just needs to get used to the directing style, and she'll get even better. And I'm excited for that. Because
she'll be more comfortable in the role the next game, and therefore she won't need as much direction, and so she can just, use her intuition.
Exactly.
Like the actor who played Radek.
Exactly. Our least favorite puzzle / moment, I'm going to say, is cracking the safe. That safe puzzle was incredibly convoluted. It was unclear. Once we solved it, I felt really accomplished for solving it. But also, it took us 45 fucking minutes to do that.
I'm gonna say it again. They present it like a goddamn algebra problem.
And then it's not.
And it's like, if you're gonna do that, like...
It was very frustrating. It was just really, really frustrating. And then once we figured it out, and it was great. But I think that one was... And we were told by other people, it wasn't just us. It's not like we were being completely stupid on this. It's something that a lot of people had troubles with. A lot of people said that they ended up just using the guide for that because they couldn't figure it out. So... that one was just...
There are quite a few places where I would not blame people for using the guide in the slightest, because the only reason we didn't is because we are stubborn as shit, and we were given a guide, and we are very obstinate.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
I'm sure we could have saved hours of everybody's time. But there would be fewer swears from me on stream, fewer instances of me going, I don't fucking understand, though.
Yeah. So, there's that. But otherwise,
Yeah.
Most of the puzzles were fine.
Yeah, I don't know that other than that, if there was really anything I didn't like.
It's just the ones that it was just bugged, you know?
It was, yeah.
Some of them were just bugged for us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I really liked the puzzles.
I went back and, like, I was rewatching some of them while I was doing my work this week. Or the last couple of weeks, really. But the light puzzle, the candlelight one.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed figuring that one out.
Yeah.
Because
that one was a U puzzle.
But the only reason that we got to the word that was needed was because you were like, hey, let's go look at the stuff on his desk.
Yeah.
And that was fun. I was like, hey, perfect. They gave us that information right there, and it works perfectly with... it was good. I loved that.
Yeah. I really wanted to... the only time in this game, there were two puzzles that I was like, I want to be playing this right now. And it was the cyber block puzzle. Mm-hmm. I am obsessed and would love to play it. Like, that specific one is me all over. And so also, fun. The, like, sliding puzzles that weren't actually sliding puzzles. You were, like, having to move the tiles back and forth, but you did... I wanted that so bad. I was like, I wish I was playing this.
It's one of those where I would have just handed the computer to you. I would just been like, nope, I don't
Otherwise, honestly, I was like, I'm glad Ariana's the one playing this. Because there were some puzzles where I was like, I don't understand what's going on right now. But you figured it out, so... You know? But otherwise, I don't know, man. I just wanted to do that so bad.
This game had a lot of puzzles that were really good for the Ariana school of puzzle solving, which is true. So much trial and error.
Yeah. I don't even remember one of the ones that you did just do completely trial and error, and it worked. I can't even remember which one it was.
Well, there was one that is one of those puzzles where it's like... and I don't remember where it was in the slightest, so don't ask me. But there was one where we had to... It was like... punch one in, and if it stays in, then that was the right, and then punch another, but if you get the wrong one, they all pop back out, so it's like having to memorize it. Again, I don't remember where this was.
I don't remember either, but I know
but I definitely remember doing it.
One of my favorite puzzles was actually a huge stretch, but it was solving the encrypted file to get into the file on your phone. I actually thought that was a lot of fun once we figured it out. And then I got really mad that we were right. Because it shouldn't have been. It was a huge stretch. But at the same time, that was exactly my kind of thing. Yeah. Like, how is own way travel?
I mean, you got to it, right?
I got to it, but, like, it shouldn't, like, that shouldn't have been right. And it kind of feels like, I don't know, like we're encouraging them for actually getting it. I don't know.
Just because we figured it out doesn't mean we should have been able to figure it out.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I think that's a very long episode. So what are our... Put on your tinfoil hat, sister. Oh. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Because it is the elephant in the room.
Yes. Why don't you go ahead, sister, since this has been eating at you the most.
Okay, so... Why? Patricia is Anya Mittelmeier.
Yes.
It's all there. Like, all of it is there. Literally, she has to be.
Right.
In her recipe book in the back, we see stuff from Castle Finster. Mm-hmm. There's literally stuff from Castle Finster in the back, and it has her, like, graduation year of 1990, and I'm sorry, but Anya Mittelmeier was born in 1974. So she would have been 16 in 1990, so not quite lining up.
Yeah, but also
close
Nancy Drew's been
enough.
19 for a very long time, so...
So I'm like, why would you include all of these things? Why would you include all of these things if not for that? And at the very beginning, her and Adela, like, pulling that, like, oh, who is it? First of all, we walked up to her, we go, oh, Adela? No. No, bitch. Why would you even... That's like walking up to the Uber and being like, are you Joseph? And just, like, no, you wait for them to say your name, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So, just, there's that. But there was so much going on there that it would have been amazing. Especially when you think about it, and you know that Nancy was brought there on purpose because she's Nancy to solve something for someone else to be able to, like, I'm sorry, that is literally what Dwayne Powers did in Ransom of the Seven Ships.
Yes.
He got her to be there so she would solve something for him so he could get it. That is what Vladena did. She called Nancy in. Basically, she arranged it so that Nancy would come in, solve a thing for her. Like, it's exactly what that was. So it was such a missed opportunity to not do that. And then, honestly, one of the random guys out in the courtyard or whatever, he looked like if Dwayne Powers was wearing a really bad beard. And I am honestly saying, that's it. Despite the fact that it's not, like, part of the story, I am headcanoning that they are Anya and Dwayne, and they're just still waiting to strike.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Because...
Absolutely. I mean...
I just don't know.
It seems like we're going to get Zane back in the next game, so...
Yeah.
Why not have a little... Oh, Patrizia's here too, and she's it's like she's Hotchkiss or what's her name, the writer Harris or no
Charlene Purcell.
Charlene Purcell. That's what I did. Charlene Harris is the writer of True Blood. That's what my brain did.
I get that. Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, no, Charlene Purcell and how we got to, like, talk to her on the phone and everything, and. So, like, maybe they bring her back and we find out that, you know, she's been more interested in us than we thought.
I mean, yeah. So, I'm just saying that it was so weird. Mm-hmm. And it could have been something. And I'm honestly so disappointed in them for not taking advantage of it. But
right? If there was ever a time to actually pull that off.
It would have been there, especially with, do you know, like, her
the pictures
line
that are in the freaking cafe. Why would there be pictures of those things?
Why are they there? Like, that's Castle Malloy. That's Blackmore Manor. Like, that is fucking Wickford Castle. Like,
yeah. It's like these don't just appear in the same place. Yeah. That's too big of a coincidence.
No. And then putting in her, like, graduation date, that's just weird. That's weird, and it was Chekhov's gun that never went off.
Yeah, why do that? What did that give us?
Especially with, like, something from Sunny June and everything. Okay. So, with that.
But yeah, that's our tinfoil hat theory that we will not let go of for a very long time.
No, ever. But yeah, so that's what we thought about Mystery of the Seven Keys. We'd love to hear what you guys think about it. You can contact us in many ways, and there are links underneath us wherever you are watching or listening to this, where you can tell us this stuff. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, and you know, you can always find other episodes of this podcast on our YouTube. You can find them on Spotify, and Apple Podcasts is still a thing, I guess.
Yep. Those are the three
only
places
ones I know of.
Yeah.
And then of course on our website, KrolmeisterSisters.KnifeFightClub.com.
yeah, you can do that. And you can always waste your money on Patreon, so you can get access to Podcast Night VODs, as well as backer channel on our Discord. You can also do that if you're subscribed to the Twitch channel. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, or listening, whatever you're doing. So, as a reminder, I'm Marisa.
And I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters, and we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.
They didn't... God, I'm so sorry, future Ariana. When you're editing this, you're going to have a lot of little pauses you're going to be irritatingly cutting out.